this is my channel, New Zealand Stitch Bird. Today I'm sharing with you my new top. This is by Tilly and the Buttons, the Agnes top with the gathered sleeve ruching. So I have made a total of 3 tops, and today I'm also going to talk to you about how I am storing my fabric stash, or actually keep track of it, which is probably more the point. So first up, I want to talk to you about this top. I have to say this fabric, I've actually got rid of the rest of this fabric now. I've managed to match my stripes, but this fabric, when I went to cut it out, I actually had to cut each piece out separately because along the selvage edges, it was all wavy, the stripes weren't sitting straight. So a wee bit problematic. It took me a lot longer to make this top than what it needed to. And the other wee problem I had is when I went to do the ruching, I looked on the pattern piece and there was no mark showing where the ruching was supposed to end. There was a starting dot, but there was no finishing dot. And I looked at the instructions, I looked at the pattern. In the end, I feel like a bit of an egg, but I ended up emailing Tilly and the Buttons and they kind of got back to me. They said it was page 8 of the instructions, but in the booklet that I have, it may be an older version, I don't know. But it's actually on, if you count the front cover, it's 1, 2, 3, page 4. And it's actually in the area where it says cutting out your fabric. And there's a little blurb here explaining where you need to chalk down the pattern piece and do your mark for the end of the elastic. So if you come across that, that's where it is. They said page 8, but it's more like page 4. But that's okay. I actually ended up just guessing where I thought it should be, and it worked out okay, but now I know for next time. I will put some pictures of me wearing it. I'm going to take some photos so you get the full length view. I think it's a really cute top. I possibly would make it again, but just with the plain sleeves. But I was really inspired by the front cover and the little blue and white striped version there. And I had this red and white stripe and I thought this would be really cool. So I've already worn this top on the weekend. I wore it with a white denim skirt. Today I've got it on with a longer white denim skirt. It's just a really cutesy wee tee, elevated tee to put on. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about today. I'm going to go now to the sorting of the fabric, and I've made some notes here. I went online and watched a few YouTube channels, and I managed to get onto a YouTube channel that is called Dreams Sew Studio, a lady called Lisa, and I got the free download, which are these wee templates, and she has other versions. I think that I've just got 2 on a page and various different layouts. And on this particular layout, you've got the type of fabric, the content, the color, the width, the weight, how much you paid for it, whether it's been washed, who you purchased it from, and care. I've kind of stuck to those particular, I guess, headings, although under care I've actually put potential ideas that why I bought the fabric in the first place. Is it going to be for a top, skirt, whatever? And then I thought, actually, I'll take it one step further. Even though it's got the type of the content and that there, I'm actually going to separate out my wovens from my knits. And then in the wovens, I'm going to have my plain pieces together and my pattern pieces together, and the same with the knits. I haven't done the knits yet. It took me a long time just doing the wovens. And then also in my little file, which I'm about to show you, I've got the heavier weighted pieces, which are more for jackets and things. I've got them separate as well. So this is my little folder. It's just one of those plastic 2-ring binders. I've slipped in a bit of scrapbooking paper into the front cover and also on the back just to make it look pretty, and also put it down the spine as well. And then on the inside, done a little bit of decorating, and I've put in the little separators, tabs. So in here I've got wovens, knits, coat fabric, some mood board templates which come in her kit as well, and some project sheets as well. So if I've got a piece of fabric and I want to play around with some ideas, I thought that would be quite good. So this is how I've set it up, and she has really good tips. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a link to her video in my description box below. So she suggests that you just tape, double-sided tape the fabric across the top. That means that you can lift it up, you can feel the weight of it. And so that's just some of the planes I've put together for my wovens. And outside I've actually listed some potential ideas, and I've just gone here, short sleeve top, that kind of thing, and just grouped the planes together. And then just go to one of the pattern pages. And this is quite overwhelming when you do this, because you realize how much fabric you actually do own. So there we go, there's a page with all my patterned pieces. The thing I like about this now is I've got most of my patterns catalogued on thread loop, and there's various other digital, I guess, pattern storage solutions. Plus I've made up little books where I've just got the front cover of the pattern. So when I'm going to make something now, I can go onto my thread loop, I can look at some tops and things, or whatever it is I'm planning to make, and then I can look through my fabrics, and I've got the amount that I have, I can feel the weight of it, I've got a swatch of it so I can see what it looks like. So I've already used some fabrics out of this book already, and I'm just going to put a wee line through when I've used them, and just put what I actually made out of that fabric so that I know that it's gone. But what I like about it is I don't have to go hunting and disturbing my neatly folded stash. I can just look through here and see what I've got, see how much I've got, and immediately see whether it's going to work for that pattern or not. So this took some time. I've got pages and pages of them. And when I went through my fabric stash, I also actually culled a bit, but some of it I've actually kept, and I've actually put it in a separate, I guess, pile. And that's going to be all my 12 fabrics. So when I want to try out a pattern, I don't have to go immediately to my good, more expensive fabrics. I can just go through my 12 pile and use those, and I know that that's there ready to use for anything I want to try out. So I've already got some pages set up in here, ready with the double-sided tape on, ready to add in if I should purchase any new fabric. So that's ready to go. I haven't done my knits yet, but I've done a few coat weight fabrics. I've got them in there with the meterage, so I know which coat pattern is going to work for that particular fabric. This is what the mood board looks like, and I've just started building a bit of a mood board. I want to do a dress that has a variety of fabrics in it. They're going to be pieced together, so I've started adding those in there just to get a bit of an idea of what it's going to look like. So that's a bit of a mood board, and I thought I printed off some projects. Yes, I did. This is the project planner. I actually ended up doing them double-sided, so that's the project planner. That's what it looks like there. So I think this resource is going to be absolutely fantastic. It's going to save me a lot of time, and sometimes it's going to stop me purchasing fabric that I don't need to purchase, because sometimes I think I really want to make such and such. I have a quick flick through my stash and I can't actually find what I'm looking for. Then I go out and purchase it, and then a while later I'll come across a piece of fabric and I thought, oh, I didn't realize I had that. So this is really going to keep me accountable for what fabrics I have in my stash for what project I want to make. So I really wanted to share this with you today, because I think just starting out at the beginning of the year, I felt like I wanted to get a little bit more organized with my fabrics, and I'm really keen to get my knits done, and hopefully this is just going to be such a time-saving thing. So I thought I would share that with you, and hopefully you enjoy creating your own. The next top I want to talk about is one that I've made before. Oh, by the way, I didn't mention the Agnes top that I made, Tilly and the Buttons. I made a size 7, and I think it's generous enough. I've got a wee bit of room. It's, you know, you have to use the 50% each way stretch fabric, so I think that fits okay. The next one is the Montrose, and I've made it in this really bright, colourful rayon. And I did the version that has the yoke with the gathers at the back. I just like this version because it gives you a little bit more room across your back and a little bit more room all the way around. I did the size 16 in this pattern. I have done the full bust option in the past, but I didn't this time. So this one doesn't have any side darts or anything. And I think the fit is actually really good. And again, I'll put some pics up there. I just did the short sleeve version. I just wanted a simple little top to wear with maybe a blue denim skirt, pair of shorts, even pants. And I'll probably take this one away with me this coming weekend. I'm heading down to Queenstown again for a scrapbooking retreat, and the theme is flowers, so I thought this would be perfect with the beautiful flowers all over it. So that is that one. The next one is, and I'm just going to go over and grab it. It is the Sweet Talker Bubble Sleeve Top by Pattern Emporium. I nearly said Style Like them, but it's the Pattern Emporium. And with this top, I made it in a brown linen, probably late last year. And in the end, it was just too big for me. I made a size 20 going by my measurements at the time. I've re-measured myself, and Pattern calls for you to measure your top bust measurement and go by that. And all my other measurements fitted into that particular range. So I've actually gone for a size 16, and I think it fits much better. However, I went for the low neckline again because of the big puff sleeves. But I think next time I might just go for the mid neckline, because it still kind of falls off my shoulders a little bit. So the next time I'm just going to go just slightly a wee bit higher, and I think that will hold on a little bit better. However, you can buy this really cool, or you can make your own little ribbons with press studs on them, and you stitch them inside the shoulder of your top, and you can attach your bra to the little attachment in there, and it will just stop your top from slipping off your shoulder. So I've got a spare set of those, so I'll try the top one again, and if it's still annoying me, I will add those in. So I'll just go and grab it and show you. It's a very pretty fabric. It's not an expensive fabric, but it fits the floral theme that I'm going to this weekend, and I thought it was a really cute set. It reminds me of Mary Quant, the flower, and it's just a polyester, but I'll just grab it. Right, so here it is. So it's got the gorgeous puff sleeves. Now, I played around a wee bit with the fabric. I laid it on top of itself, and you could actually see the flowers through the sleeves. So in the end, I just used a piece of cotton poplin from my stash, sort of an off-white, to do the lining for the sleeve. It's got a bound neckline, and I think I did the mid hip length. The sleeves are the elbow length sleeve, so I think they're a little bit longer than the brown one that I made, because I remember I made a little bit of mistake with that and I didn't quite cut the sleeves right. This time I was very careful and made sure that I had the lining of the sleeve and the sleeve, because the lining's actually shorter so you don't see it, and it allows for the casing and everything. And yeah, just a really cutesy wee top. Really pleased with it. I think I'm going to get quite a bit of wear out of it. Now, we've had some really unusual weather in New Zealand at the moment. It's actually really cold and it's supposed to be summer. And unfortunately, there's been a number of landslips around the country, and unfortunately, some people have lost their lives. So it's been really awful time in regards to the weather. So I'm starting to think, and if we don't get any summer style weather soon, I'm actually going to start planning my full wardrobe, because I'm really trying to be mindful now on the fact that I need to have trend seasonal pieces. So some of my autumn, spring will be able to mix and match through, and really most of it should be able to be worn all year round. So I've got a couple of projects coming up. The project that I've just cut out is the Turning Point handkerchief hem skirt by Emporium, and I've cut it out in sort of a beigey colour, and I'm thinking that's going to go with boots. I'm going to be able to wear it in the summer with sandals or sneakers. So I've got that cut out, ready to go. So that's my next project. And I've come across this fabric here, and I was going to make a pair of lane pants out of it, to be honest. However, there's not quite enough. The lane pants actually take quite a bit of fabric. So I'm actually going to make the McCalls, and I'll put the pattern up there, I can't remember the number. It's very similar to the Fabric Godmother dress that's got the zip up the front, and I'm thinking I will have enough to do this, and I think it would be really fun. And it's sort of like a lightweight drill, so I'm feeling this will take me through. I could even wear it if the weather warms up a bit, or alternatively I can wear it if it's going to be still cold. I can either layer a top underneath it, layer a jacket over the top, wear it with boots. So I'm thinking this will be really fun in that dress. These are faces. If you're wondering what these squiggles are, they're actually faces and lips. Really, really cool fabric. I just purchased it from Spotlight. I had it all pre-washed, ready to go for the lane pants, and then when I put the lane pants on, I couldn't quite get them out. So I'm thinking hopefully this dress will fit out of that pattern and get that cut out. I got my tablecloth pattern by Carmel Apparel, I think that's how you say it. I've got all that. I actually decided to get it printed at the warehouse stationery, so I've got that printed, and I've got a couple of tablecloths, and I'm going to use my stash of 12 fabrics to try it out first. So I've got that ready to go as well. So I've got quite a few things happening in the pipeline. Unfortunately, I had a wee bit of a setback a week or so ago. I ended up in hospital for the night. I've had issues with my heart. It's okay, it's fine. However, I just need to pace myself with projects and things at the moment. Don't put myself under too much pressure. So I'm just really enjoying making things that I want to make, and I'm still enjoying showing you guys the finished product. So please stay tuned next week. Hopefully I'll have something new made, or I'll have some more plans. I hope you're enjoying your sewing week. Until then, have fun. We'll catch you later. Bye now.